Hello, group. My name is Amy Kernicki. I am a regenerative health practitioner, and a couple days ago, I put a poll up in the group asking if anyone was familiar with glyphosate, if they knew what glyphosate was, and there was a lot of people that didn't. So I wanted to pop on here and talk about it. So what is glyphosate? So a little history of it. In 1974, glyphosate was patented as an antibiotic. It's the main ingredient in Roundup. So it's sprayed on our crops to eliminate weeds. It's also sprayed on the roadsides, in parks, and schools. And in 1992, we started using it as a drying agent when we harvested wheat so that farmers didn't experience crop loss due to early freezing. So in 1994, we saw this huge boom in gluten sensitivity. And just 2 years after, we started double spraying this wheat. And there was also this boom in celiac, which is an autoimmune disease triggered by wheat and gluten. So now there's about 4.5 billion pounds of glyphosate that's sprayed annually. And it's a water-soluble toxin. And our earth and our bodies are both about 70% comprised of water. So this is contaminating our water pathways, our rain. It's in our air right now. And it's all been filtering in. Like, there's this large concentration of glyphosate that ends up at the base of the Mississippi. And this area is known as Cancer Alley. And that's where the highest rates of cancer per capita exist in our country. So glyphosate's been linked to cancer, dementia, ADD, autism. So how does this work? Glyphosate is an antibiotic, so it kills off the microbiome of the soil, including the microfungi and the microbacteria in the soil that break down all the nutrients for the plants to absorb. So this creates nutrient deficient soil. And that deficiency really stresses out our plants and lowers their immune system and exposes them to pests. And then glyphosate also blocks the medicinal properties of our food, which are known as alkaloids. And these alkaloids are anti-parasites, anti-asthma, anti-cancerous properties that support all the different systems in our body. So our plants require these healthy soils and healthy fungi and bacteria to create amino acids. And there's 8 essential amino acids that we need for our body to function, that our body can't produce on its own, and we should be getting from plants. So these are the building blocks of life, but we are not receiving these building blocks when our soils become sterile. So this chemical is killing the soils, and then we are eating these foods that are lacking nutrients and contain this antibiotic, which then does the same thing to our gut microbiome and kills off our healthy microorganisms that are responsible for producing 90% of our serotonin and 50% of our dopamine in our guts, which are the hormones that impact our mood and mental health. So this situation with glyphosate can also be linked to mental illness, depression, anxiety. It all goes back to glyphosate that's been inundating our soils and our gut microbiome. So glyphosate also impacts the ability to fight off disease, because 70% of our immune function is created in our gut. So within 20 minutes of exposure to glyphosate, we experience a leaky gut, which means all of the toxins from the external world will be leaking into our immune system and into our lymphatic system. So this creates an inflammatory response throughout the whole body, which can lead to autoimmune and neurological weaknesses from toxins crossing that blood-brain barrier. And this leaky gut can also create sensitivity to foods and allergies to anything in the environment. So it's a a lot. What can we do about this? I mean, it's pretty alarming, and it's everywhere. It's in all of our food, it's in water, it's in all of our food that's not organic, right? So obviously, eating organic is step one. And even at that point, there's been foods that are tested that are supposed to be organic that are still containing glyphosate. So I would get familiar also with the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15 list. That is a list of the most contaminated fruits and vegetables, and then the cleanest. So some vegetables you can get away with not having to buy organic, but some like strawberries are like the worst thing you could buy if you're not buying organic. You could vote with your dollar and support organic and regenerative farmers. You can grow your own food and learn about that, and soil health, how important that is. I would increase the number of living foods that you're eating on a daily basis, especially those healthy living foods that are grown in a biodiverse environment, healthy soil, and regenerative practices. I would also be supporting your elimination pathways. So, our skin, our breath, our bowels, and our kidneys, but especially our kidneys, so that we can be flushing toxins out. So one way of doing that is doing regular detoxes and eating really fresh fruits like grapes or dark berries like cherries, raspberries, lemons every day, waking up and having lemon juice, especially just right in the morning. That's your first thing you do. All of those can help clean up your lymphatic system and reduces inflammation and helps keep that kidneys open. We can also expose ourselves to like cold plunges or hot cold showers, getting into nature, dry brushing, all sorts of things that we want to help restore that cellular communication. We can also detox glyphosate from our body and restore the tight junctions of our gut lining. So I use a product, it's the only one clinically proven on the market to reduce glyphosate by 74% in 6 weeks and C-reactive protein by 75% in 6 weeks. So, I mean, that's huge. I saw when I started this and using this, that is where I saw this dramatic decrease in my pain, inflammation, and my mental health. My gut was just improving. So my brain fog was gone, depression, anxiety gone. So our bodies are like really, really amazing healing machines if we give them the right environment. And what's important before we put things in is that we take the bad things out. So, I mean, we just can't keep accepting the fact that we're being poisoned. We have choices and we can do something. So, investing in my health was probably it was the absolute best thing I've ever done. And I just keep learning more and more about soil health and our gut microbiome. And this is why I went into regenerative health, so that I can help others and teach others how to do this. So I guide people through this regenerative detox, and we focus heavily on removing glyphosate and getting nourished on a cellular level. So getting all of our amino acids in and being able to actually absorb those. So if this is something that you're curious about, I would love to send you some more information and help you through this. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful night.